Gambia's police has rounded up to 96 people in its operation against zero crime. And women of Banjul Horticultural Garden expressed these challenges they face in their work. These and more coming on Gambia 24. Good evening, you're watching Gambia 24 News with me, Mariama Cham, and thanks for joining us. President Adama Barrow pays tribute to the family of late Inspector General of Police Mahmoud Job on Monday at his compound in Sincho Alaji. President Barrow says the late IGP was not only a colleague, but also a family who was always there for everybody. The head of state describes IGP Job's death as shocking and a great loss to the nation. Here is a piece of his message.
Mamour nag day am ni rek la mëno démé do mëna liggéey bu réew bi yépp def lu baax li yépp yalla ñu fay la leen.
Mamour's death can only be done in this way. You can't do all this heavy work, do all the good things, then God end up paying something else. That wouldn't happen. His death is really shocking and we have lost greatly. But only God knows, and whatever he does for a reason. As friends and colleagues of Mr. Job, we are his family. Mamour is gone, but we are still alive. Where we stood yesterday when he was alive, we will stand more firmly in that place today. Because as a human being, your presence is not the problem. Until you left, that is the most difficult part. Our relationship with Mamour should not only stop at work, it should go beyond that.
More details of that will be aired in our subsequent newscast. Now, the Gambia police has rounded up 96 people on the second day since the launch of the Operation Zero Crime. The enforcement targeted various criminal hideouts within the Greater Banjul and West Coast regions, according to the police media dispatch on Sunday. On the suspected criminals, 27 are non-Gambians whose arrests were in connection with several offenses, including going armed in public and possession of drugs. A day before, the police arrested more than 100 suspects, including 3 women, in joint security high visibility patrols. The police high command assured the public that the conduct of the security personnel, which will strictly be within the confines of the law. Now, the women of Banjul Horticultural Garden have expressed challenges they face in their work. According to the women, the main challenges they are confronted with is water shortage. iAfrica TV visited the gardens on Monday to know their problems, and Khadija Seka tells us more.
A considerable chunk of the population relies on agriculture as source of income and feeding. This, however, is sometimes limited by the lack of technical know-how and the scarcity of resources needed to carry out farming. The Banjul Horticultural Garden is 23 hectares of land, but according to the women, only 8 hectares is being used and the remaining was abandoned because of water shortages. Mariama Kamara underlined lack of enough water, fencing for the garden, and not having access to quality insecticides as the main problems confronting them.
Nimpareta nga nyosotota nga potota nga bulabenyo arokono.
Our problem is water shortage and fencing. Our second problem is the insects affecting our crops. We use different insecticides to help us, but our efforts went in vain. I don't know what is the problem.
Mariama Kamara further added that marketing of their harvested crops has always been an issue. She said access to cold store to preserve their crops and means of transport to sell their crops directly to the consumers without selling it to the middlemen would help to mitigate their losses.
Marketing our crops is very difficult on our side. If we have cold store to keep our crops, it will be helpful. However, If we cannot have access to a cold store, then they should assist us to reach the market ourselves so that the customers will reach us, and with that, we will be able to get the profit we deserve.
The Banjulinding Women Horticultural Garden was founded in 1996 with initial support from the World Bank project. After the phasing out of the World Bank support to the project, the then government of the Gambia, in collaboration with the Taiwanese, continued to support the project until late 2013. The women gardeners called on the government and relevant NGOs to come to their aid in tackling the challenges they face daily. Khadija Saika, iAfrica News.
Banjulinding women gardeners decries water shortage as an issue. Now the agricultural sector is regarded as the backbone of Gambia's economy, as different branches of the sector contribute immensely towards the gross domestic product. Now one of them is poultry farming, which is recognizably creating business opportunities for many young Gambians. In this report, the president of Jamorai Poultry Association, who despite the partial dissolutions of the association, put up comment for its expansion. More in this report.
Poultry business in the Gambia is blooming every day, thanks mainly to local growing appetite for chicken and eggs as substitute to meat or fish, which are all hard to come by nowadays. Jamorai Poultry Farm Association in Kunkujang, with a membership of more than 75 women, is one of the ADP-sponsored projects in the country. It began official operation at the Abuko Agricultural Poultry Center, where all necessary materials needed for poultry production were installed by the ADP. These did not, however, prevent a partial death of the initiative, likely due to loss in track and commitment on the side of the management. Aissatou Badji saw the business venture as too good to collapse and then pursued the goal in reviving it.
Wow, dañ dem because xam nga loi la ñu liggéey dañ dem ba ñëpp relax talk.
Yes, this farm belongs to the association, but later on almost everyone relaxed and a great loss was incurred. As the president of this association, I decided to come up with ways of reviving the farm because our sponsors spent a lot for everything to go in vain. This poultry farming is not an easy task. It requires knowledge and commitment. Once that is missing, you are likely to fail. I traveled to America to attend a poultry explore program. I was informed that all the chickens got sick and died. From that day until now, no one came back. Upon my return, I tried to mobilize all the members again, but my efforts were fruitless.
This farm rears different types of chickens, such as broilers, brown layers and white layers, to satisfy the demand of several localities. The farm manager, Adama Barrow, explained the processes involved in breeding of the chicken at the farm.
And I mean, like this, the government has put a ban to the importation of chicken right now. But then right now, with the kind of birds that we have in here is this layers here, and then we have the cocktails there at the other room there. No. I mean, like there's a difference in rearing them. This other one here is a very sensitive one. I allowed you guys to come here, but then it's not part of the rules.
The production of local chicken gives ordinary households the option from the imported industrial chicken constitute the greatest space in our local markets. The price of imported chicken and chicken products is slightly lower than that of the local chicken because of the costs involved in the importation of poultry materials and feeds, in the view of Mr. Coley.
Most of the challenges that we are facing as farmers in the Gambia market, I mean, like we don't have a proper market due to the importation of the chicken legs, the full chicken, I mean, and all these other ones, the imported eggs. Well, you know what happened in the Gambia? We have a problem of feed. Feed is our main problem. As a poultry farmer, what happened? We imported feed from Senegal, and the feed costs so much. Right now, there is no price control in the feed. You go today, they will tell you 1,350. You go the other way, the other day they will tell you, it is 1,400. Maybe, actually, I'm having 1,000 of them here. So the probably need 2 bags of feed for the day. So I mean, like for the day, at least I'm spending $3,000. When I look the cost of my production, and then I want to sell my egg at a certain price, I wouldn't make profit out of it. The imported, at least you can have the local one. But then people don't understand that when you tell them that, I mean, like, we cannot sell as the imported ones have been sold at the market.
Besides the production of broiler chickens, eggs, and guano, Jamorai offers poultry consultancy services to aspiring poultry farmers. As part of their long-term goal, the farm hopes to train and employ more people as the business thrives along the permanent plans. For African News, Sohna Tunkara.
That report by Sohna Tunkara on poultry will take us to a quick break, and we'll be right back with the rest of the news. Stay with us.
The pride we take in our brand, the work we put into constantly change the landscape and elevate real estate in the Gambia, it's compared to none. From inception, our goal was to add value to the beautiful Gambian landscape. That's why we are proud innovators of community estates. Kololi Sands is an exceptional piece of work, tailored for ultimate convenience and luxury, to bring you an element of finesse that is rare but unique in its own. This is also our pride and joy, and we welcome you to the exquisite beauty right here in Kololi and right here on the waterfront. Kololi Sands, feel the ocean breeze at your doorstep.
Welcome back, and still on Gambia 24. Hub Limited on Saturday held a robotic presentation of two groups of teenagers to boost their passion in playing around artificial intelligence. The exercise was preceded by a 3-month training on script programming and concepts for the children in the program. The event emphasized the employment of robots for analytical assignments such as engineering and technology in general. Fatmata Kasim has the rest of that.
Robotic is the intersection of science, engineering, and technology that produces machines known as robots that are capable of replicating human actions. Birandon Degilen, co-founder of Hub, introduced the program to train children on the fundamentals of programming the building of robots and instructing them to operate under commands. She encouraged parents and guardians to allow their children to think out of the box and not to confine into academic theories.
What we always tend to miss in Gambia is that children learn in different ways, and children are gifted in different ways. But what we always try to do is keep them in a box. We're very rigid. You either study science, commerce, or arts. That's not the world we live in now. The world we live in is ruled by technology. Children have to explore and let them see what they enjoy and what makes them happy and what really tickles their fancy. And at the end of the day, if you allow them to be able to really try out new things, you'll realize that not everyone is made to sit in a university classroom. Some people are meant to actually to work on technology, but not necessarily have to have academic qualifications in the process.
Birandonde described the program as an introductory phase from where higher levels in the usage of technology will be introduced.
Because this is something that we're going to probably see more of as we keep rolling the program round and round. I would say allow the children to really explore when it comes to digital means, and allow them to really understand how they can use technology, not only to WhatsApp or Instagram or do all those other things, Facebook, but to actually productively use the internet and technology to better their lives.
The Robotic Hub came into being after the Pan-African Robotic Competition, which featured the victory of the Gambian team in the tournament. The hub was then set up, beginning with summer classes on the basic concept of the technology for school-going children aspiring for higher education in artificial intelligence. For iAfrica News, I am Fatoumata Kasim.
Well, that report by Fatoumata Kasim brings us to the end of Gambia 24. I am your presenter, Mariama Cham, and thanks for watching.